Hey, that's starting to look like a real farm over there. Morning, everyone. Welcome back to Deep Sky Farms, and welcome back to AgroForests. We're on episode 13 now, episode 3 since the big reboot, and we're out tooling around near our farm in the backcountry, giving our horse some exercise. I thought we should get into that habit. It's probably a good one. This is a really good map for doing that, by the way. The map maker has really taken their time and given us a place where it's really friendly to go tooling around on horses and go exploring. There are collectibles on this map. They're the same ones that were on Silver Run Forest. They're the carved wooden statues. They're worth $50,000 each, so it is worthwhile from a money point of view. And they're in some pretty interesting places around the map. So it encourages you to get out and explore the map a little bit. If you'd like me to do a collectibles run where we go out and look for some of these, let me know down in the comments and we'll set it up. So last week was the big harvest. We put in about 55,000 liters worth of wheat and 40-some thousand liters worth of oats, and that's going to be our big cash influx in December. The other thing that we did was we ran around with our little John Deere Gator and made sure that the livestock all had water. And I commented that it was okay to fill up out of ponds, but I kind of wanted to do a little bit more water-related infrastructure in the future. So with that in mind, let's get our horse back to the pasture and cleaned up and get ourselves set up for some building. We're going to work on the water infrastructure this week a little bit, and we're going to do some work around the house. I've got some things that I want to set up there, and I think you'll like it. Let's get to it. Okay, so where is that horse? There's that horse. I like the idea of horses. The actuality of horses is that they're mildly annoying to look after. And I don't mean the physical act of, doing the stuff that you got to do for the horses, because I like riding horses. And I don't mind cleaning horses, but what I do mind is that whenever you're cleaning them, they don't hold still. Oh, there we go. Oh, nope, we're going to walk away. So you got to chase them all over the pasture. The other thing that's mildly annoying is that, there we go. Yeah, good. The other thing that's mildly annoying is you can't clean them outside of the pasture, where they will stand still. So, go figure. So, the first one that we're going to put down in our little construction blitz here is watershed. This is, or a watershed. This is called Waterhouse. It's by LSFactoryMODS. It is available on the Mod Hub. And we're just going to take this and slide it right in something about here. And it's going to pump out of that pond, and we can just roll up to it and fill up. So right about here. Actually, I'm going to switch to that mode so it doesn't destroy all of the landscaping. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't need to do a whole lot of repair here. Maybe a little bit of a gravel path in here, but gonna paint some gravel forest dirt, maybe? Actually, I think the forest dirt would look pretty good right down there. Forest gravel. Yeah, there we go. Right down to the door. and that is good. So let's test it out. And here I thought I was going to have to build something custom to go into that spot. Try to get around that corner without flipping the thing over. Okay, now, are we going to automatically unload? Nope, we're going to ask to dump. All right. Oh, okay, it took it. It took the 2,000 liters. Okay, so the next one that I want to put in is down at this pond here. I want to do something a little different here. I went on a little bit of a binge this morning. In that I went looking for water things with the intent of putting in one, and it turns out there's a whole bunch of them. So this is Real Wind Pump. It is on the Mod Hub. It's by ALXXA, ALXXA. And the way this works, this here, if you read the description, this works in the summertime, but in the wintertime it freezes over. So I thought that might be an interesting mechanic to play with. And we're going to put this here, right about there, and we're going to put back it up just a bit. Put the trigger on the road, so if we want to do an auto drive through here, we can do that. The other interesting thing about this one is that it fills over time. See, 23, 24, it's going to take a while to fill this up. So off to the next one. And I put this here so that it's a little bit shorter to the cows, but in the summertime we can just run auto drive through here and do it that way. That bridge has always done that, even since Farming Simulator 22. This is our road here. This goes to the pig pasture, if I remember correctly. Yeah, okay. Now it looks like they're good for water, but we're going to fill those up anyway. So I want to park right about here, just to stay back up a bit. Just to stay clear of the construction zone. So this area here, last time we were out, I said I wanted to do a pump house. A house with a pump in it. To work off of this pond. So this one's going to take a little bit, because there's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of placeables already here, it's going to take a little bit of work. But that's okay. So we're going to start by cleaning up the plants here, just so we can see what's going on. So we're going to raise the ground, something like this. I'll put that bush back in. I like that bush. And same thing with these here, the cattails, I'll put those back in too. Okay. Now it looks like our high point is somewhere around here. So we're going to level. We're going to start leveling about here. And we'll have to bring this out. Not super far, but far enough. I think we need it to come out about like this. Okay. Because our shed that we're going to put down here is right near the bottom. It's called New England Shed by Squigglze, also on the Mod Hub. I didn't pick up many itch or weirdo mods this week. Okay, we need to level out a little bit further. Okay, something like that ought to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to customize it. I'm going to put solar panels on it because we want the solar panels to, quote, run the pump. But the other reason I'm going to go into that, come on, it's bouncing off that rock, I think. When you go into that mode, it freezes it. So you can spin around and have a good look at it. Yeah, that looks fairly decent. That looks fairly decent. Solar panel, yes. Could come towards the rock a little bit, but we're almost there. And I'm getting hung up in those trees, and that's making the camera do all kinds of weird stuff. It's too bad that when you were in you couldn't, when you were in frozen mode, place it right there when everything was locked down tight. But it's going to be about right there. Okay, double check. Everything's cool. Yeah, okay. And just to kind of tidy it up a little bit, we're going to paint in a little bit of gravel. I'm a fan of the gravel small texture. I probably use it way too much. But that would be the gravel pad that we put down before we build our house. Okay, one more little bit of sculpting to do. And we're going to take our soften brush and just kind of work this area in front here. Can I make it smaller? I cannot make it smaller. Okay, so that's part one. Might as well do the plants while we're here. Plants. Start with some meadow, because meadow's always good. And an attractive bush like that. And we had a large one over in this corner, I think. Nope, can't get that one. Or that one. That one? Nope. It absolutely will not put a bush there. Okay. Well, put some meadow back in there. And then we will go all the way down. Not grass cut. Not rice long grain either. We're looking for specifically... actually, let's stick one of those in there. Yeah, a little bit of this. And there is our... Can we get our latifolia going? Yeah, there we go. And some latifolia medium to fill that in and around here, because that's kind of muddy. And yeah, that looks good. Okay, so that's part one. Let's I don't want to put a tree on there. I don't want to interfere with the solar panels, but anyway. Okay, so we need to jump out of build mode for a minute, and we're going to go and we're going to open this up so we can see inside of our shed. Our rather attractive shed. We got a little bit of latifolia through it and a little bit of grass, but not the end of the world. So the next part of this operation, under factories, is called water points. The mod is called water points. It's by CookieModster. It is on the mod hub, and what we're going to do is we're going to take this. This is a factory that produces water, and we're going to slide our tank right in, right about there. So this is our enclosed pump house that I was talking about last week. And we're going to drop it in there in free placement mode. Perfect. Yeah, that fits just nicely. Now, like I say, this is a factory, so we have to turn it on. Oh, and we can store our chainsaws here too. Go in, activate, and you can see it's going to start producing water here. Slowly, but it is producing. There we go. I mean, we have to pump it in from out here. Now, last thing to check is... Oh my god, I gotta fix that. Yeah, it's these ones right here. Plants. Yeah, you wouldn't expect them to be that close up in the gravel like that. Okay, that looks way better. So we're going to make sure that our machine fits in there. And there's only a couple of liters of water in that tank, but it should be enough to show us the fill trigger. Yeah, we have a start filling. We got 23 liters of water out. Okay. So while that fills, we're just going to fill right out of the pond here. Because we can. And we're going to close this door. And thing that I discovered is that this is a gate, so we don't have to drive all the way around to fill up the sheep again. So here we go. Oh, I see. There's our pallet of wool. So the pallet of wool spawns at the sheep pen, and the pallet of eggs, probably spawns at the chicken pen. Fair enough. And then we can go out this gate. I thought there was a gate up here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Then we can go out this gate, and we're going to head up to the house. Because I have a little build project up there that I want to do. We are going to hit... Actually, we're doing okay for cash, too. We are going to have to get a job. But that's okay. We can go haul some sand in the barge. Or go look for some collectibles. That's actually a good question. I'll put it up as a poll underneath this. Do you want me to show you where the collectibles are? Or rather, do you want me to spoiler collectibles? Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here. We gotta move some stuff. Give me a minute. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so we've cleared the decks here. And we're gonna do a little bit of painting to clean up this area over here. And I think the one that we're looking for, is it forest gravel? No. Forest? Nope. Not sure it's grass forest, but it's fairly close. Actually, I think it is grass forest. All right. So I just want to bring this out here. We'll fill in the gravel again. That's good in there. So plants. I have grass mode down here, and I think I'm going to do grass mode. Grass cut. Although grass cut... Do we want to get into cutting grass here? We're going to do grass cut for now. And we're going to bring our lawn up like this. And basically fill in this area here. I was sort of hoping that we could do... Yeah, not there. Just delete that a little bit. Same thing there. Off the gravel. One thing that I do like about doing this in Giants Editor is using the limit to texture. Because you can tell it only paint it on this background texture. And maybe that's a series that needs to be done, is how to hot rod up a map. for your own personal use, of course. You don't release that stuff. Or, you know, I spend a bunch of time figure out what map that I do want to use, make it custom, and then there we go. And this one would lend itself to that rather nicely because it's already been customized. Anyway, okay, so the reason I wanted to do that is I want to put in some stuff. So back under containers, we're going to put in some water to serve the house and future garden. We're going to go with the free water tank. This is by Blacksheep Modding on the Mod Hub. All my stuff this week is on the Mod Hub. And we just set it right there. Okay, I mean, that's all right. Is it crooked? No, it's all right. And we're going to put in on our hippie house here, because it is kind of a hippie house. I'm going to put in a couple of generators. It's not going to give us a lot. But it is going to give us something. Okay, so I don't want to go too far out that way because I'm reserving that space. Let's do 2 solar panels. Okay, that looks fairly decent. And then the last thing, also under factories, greenhouses, down here is the Allotment Garden by Tana. And I think, you know, this is the kind of thing you would want to look out your back window here and see. So I'm just going to bring it over and try and keep it on the grass. We might have to do some retro landscaping. With fence garden beds, no fence garden beds. Ooh. Fence or no fence? I kind of like no fence. Let's just see how that looks. Yeah, I kind of like this. So this is the one that you can, in the wintertime, throw a greenhouse over your garden plots and make it work. Yeah, I do like it without the fence. We're going to go with that. And we're going to put it right here. Because this has the look of a legit back garden now. Okay, so we're now a little bit tight in this corner, so maybe we turn that off from being a vehicle access. But here's what it does. The allotment garden, it takes seeds, fertilizer, and all of the regular, and it gives you all of the regular greenhouse stuff, plus some root crops. So I think we're definitely going to be growing some carrots for the horses. So we're gonna, can we activate that? Yeah, activate the carrots, and potatoes. Yeah, let's do some potatoes. And then for selling, we always get good money from tomatoes. So let's get some tomatoes going. So we've got 2 different streams here. So this one here only needs water. The one with seeds and fertilizer, you need seeds and fertilizer. But it gives you a much, much better, it gives you, oh, okay. It gives you less cycles, 88 for, oh, okay. So they've balanced out the cycles per month and all of that. So conveniently, we've got over here a John Deere Gator sitting here running with water in it. and it just took that water, and off we go to the races. Oh yeah, because the pigs take root crops too, don't they? Our solar-powered water collector for the house and garden. Okay, and one thing that I am going to try yeah, I think no fence was the way to go. That looks really awesome. Let's see how it looks from in here. Oh yeah, I mean, you're standing in your kitchen here looking out on that. Now that's a little slice of heaven right there. You wake up in the morning, first thing you see is the garden. That's pretty impressive. So the thing that I want to try, I might have misread this, but I think we can also use manure instead of solid fertilizer here. Let's see if it gives me... Oh, it does give me a tip trigger. All right. Okay, so that's a reason to get that cow barn up and running then. Okay, cool. Oh, close the door. You're letting in the outside. This is turning out to be quite the little build here. I like this a lot. And we'll put our half-ton back over there. So this is what we've accomplished today. We've got our kitchen garden set up. We've got some water points set up. We did a little bit of building and a little bit of landscaping, and things are starting to look pretty good here. We also got the horses out for a ride first thing this morning. That was really important. So we're going to call it an episode here. Thank you very much for coming out. I really appreciate it. If you like what you're doing, leave us a thumbs up, ring the bell. We're not a high volume channel, but it's nice for you to get notified. And if you like Minecraft, check out our friends over at Otter Plays. They are doing some really cool stuff over there. We're coming back next week with another episode of AgroForests. And until then, take care of yourselves, y'all.